What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here. Delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. I found this beautiful hardcover copy of Phantom, the complete series, the Charlton Years Volume 1 from Hermes Press. Now, this is out of print and pretty hard to find, so good luck and happy hunting if you are looking for this. It's got a dust jacket on it, and the inside cover is the same as the outside, and very nice construction. I love these Hermes Press books. They are just like on nice paper. I've got several of them at this point. And the Phantom is an interesting thing. You'll note that this starts with issue number 30, even though it's labeled volume 1. Well, the Phantom started with a publisher called Gold Key, and then it went into King Comics. And then Charlton took over the rights at this point, and they just kept the numbering going through all three companies. Very interesting. And the Gold Key and King Comics are even harder to find than this one. They're very painfully expensive. So if you can find those, pick them up. This takes place from 1969 to June 1970. So it's a little chunk of time. And you got 9 issues. So you have a pretty good smattering of books here. Now, this contains almost all of Jim Aparo's work on the Phantom in this volume. There's like 2 or 3 covers he did later, but almost all of the stories he actually did are in here. So if you're looking for a collection that's close to this and don't want to pay like over cover, you can get the Complete Phantom by Jim Aparo, which Hermes Press also does, and it will contain almost all of the contents in here. And Aparo's work on here is actually the best of all of it, so it's definitely, you know, good read on that level. They have a nice introduction about the Phantom and all that, and we get into it. So here it is. We have the Phantom. He is a dude who dresses up kind of silly in purple. And I really had not read any Phantom before, so I came into this a little just not knowing what to expect. And the Phantom is apparently a guy who lives in this like fake African country that was made up. And he dresses up like the Phantom and you know, rights injustices and fights in the jungle and all that. So he's got a like superhero element to him a little bit, and he's got a Tarzan element to him a little bit. And Tarzan was really popular when they came out the original strip, so I'm sure that's intentional. Now, he's got a sister named Julie who goes out, and then in this first one is dresses up as like Lady Phantom. So she's part of this. You get some cool art. It's all very ridiculous. They fight tigers and things like that, and lots of pirates fighting throughout these different stories. Most of these issues have 2 to 3 stories in it, and they're usually like 15 pagers or 8 pagers, around that level. So very quick. They don't really reference each other, so you can just dive into one and not the others. So another thing you can do is get volumes 2 through 5 of this, which are in print still, and you really won't miss much, except for Jim Aparo's art, which this is, I believe, Jim Aparo's first story, which is the Phantom in Shangri-La, where he gets taken to this like strange city in the mountains, which is a Shangri-La, and it turns out it's like kind of a scam. So pretty neat. Now the Phantom's background, I guess, is that he's had this like continued existence for hundreds of years, and it goes back dating, I guess his ancestors kept donning this Phantom costume and doing this forever. And that way he gets a reputation as a ghost or an undying sort of person, so it instills fear into people because of that. He goes around to different areas of the world. This one he's actually, you know, kind of fighting in Egypt. A lot of the times he's just back in his jungle also. This one it looks like the Phantom dies, but he really doesn't, of course. Oh no, the Phantom's death. He's falling to his doom. And some of it's better than others. Like I said, when it's done by Jim Aparo, the art really stands out, and it's really cool. And the majority of this volume is Jim Aparo art, so you get a nice early work from him. I believe he had some other Charlton work before this, but this is some of his earliest work. He'll go on to be one of the most famous Batman artists ever. And this one's not drawn by Jim Aparo. You can really see the difference in just like these lines and the perspective shots, just how The perspectives are very flat compared to the action Jim Aparo does, and the lines are not as clean, also not quite as detailed. But this was still a good story, regardless. These guys in these little like masks are harming villagers, and the Phantom, of course, takes them on. So good stuff. This one they get sucked into a whirlpool, which they kind of goes underground and all that, and some pirates then get trapped there also. Pretty good. And they're pretty fast reads overall. I know the Silver Age gets a reputation for having like overwriting and dialogue and things like that, but that's actually not the case here with Dick Wood's writing through most of this. These go pretty quick. This was the one that stood out as kind of weird to me. It's labeled as the Phantom, and I guess this guy is the Phantom, but he doesn't actually don the Phantom costume in this entire story, and it seems almost like a hijacking mystery on a plane that doesn't actually have anything to do with the character for a little bit. And of course he disappears and is gone once he solves the problem. So that was probably the oddest story in here. but it's all right nonetheless. And 3 exciting adventures in this issue, and this is the cover art for the whole volume done on this one, which I get why they used it, because the little horse is really cool looking. And this one, I believe this is the first one that they actually have the stories listed as a piece of art itself, like in this like skull, which is the Phantom's like hideaway. It's a Phantom cave in essence, but and it's like a skull built into a rock. It's kind of neat. Very nice stuff. And of course, I loved Jim Aparo's art through the whole deal. You get some nice extras where you get to see his black and white drawings in the back. And of course, they mentioned to go to the gold key years in the back. So this was fun. Again, the stories are very silly. Not all of them make total logical sense. They're not taking themselves too seriously. There's lots of fun in this though, and lots of good art in this. Everything's really snappy on the pacing level. If you enjoy classic comics, I think you'll really love this. I'll give it a 9 out of 10, and I'm excited to see the rest of this series. I'll definitely be picking up the Charlton years, and hopefully I can find copies of those earlier ones, because man, I'd love to have the whole series. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.